Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we talk money. Woo!
That's the money dance.
It's the money dance because as entrepreneurs, we need to be making money. So here's the thing. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, you need to know more about how money works and how money can work for you. And because of that, we brought in our resident expert, Coach Karen Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. And we're going to be talking money this morning. Oh, so I hear an echo. Is that me? Let me turn my volume down a little bit. Okay. So my question today, Coach Karen Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada, our money mindset coach. What are we talking about today?
This month, we're talking about all the different ways to earn an income. And so today we're talking about the business route. Last week, we speak on the job route, and I never want to leave that out because we've become these people who snub people who work. We don't want to be snubbers. That's your angel investor. We want you to know that it didn't matter the angle, we still want you to understand and learn about money. So this week we're talking about business. And last week, just to go back a little bit, we talk about setting and understanding your earnings, especially when you're going to take a job, compared to the money you spend in your education and the money they're paying you. Is it a starter salary to work you up, or you're just settling because you think at the moment you got to cover your bills? All that stuff we talked about in different segment in the segment last week. So I hit on the job stuff because let me tell you, there's people who is working and making more money than entrepreneurs, business owners, making 200,000 a year, making 300,000, making $1 million a year from their jobs. So we are not here to have jobs. So we talked about that first and foremost because that's where most people start. And so this week we're talking about earned income by business.
Okay.
All right. I wanted to get that out of the way. So if you didn't hear that, if you weren't here last week, go check it out for our viewers. Or if you
good conversation.
Yeah, go check that out. Because this week we're talking business and we want to know really about the people who are still in job with part-time or gigs on the side or jobs to pull you through. Here's the other thing too. We're going to talk about earned income in business. But if you have a business and you want your business to really excel and do the things it's supposed to do, organic is great. Free stuff is great. You're going to have to pay for some software. You're going to have to pay for some stuff. So sometimes you need to either keep the job you have or get out of it and get a job that is flexible enough so that you can make enough money to pay for those overhead things so you're not struggling. When you struggle emotionally, because that's what happens in business, is this emotional struggle that keeps you really from growing as fast as you can in lots of cases, that afraidness, that emotional, I'm going to lose it all, then you can't see clearly. But if you have a way of making sure all your bills are paid every single month, in January, talk about the year budget, and I'm going to talk about it again at the end of this year so that we can flex back into it. You know that you're covered for the year, and now your earnings is all about learning all the software that I need to learn, all the things in my business I need to learn, all my systems to put them together so that when I decide to outsource and hire either employees or subcontractors, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I want to see them do. And if I don't know what I want to see them do, I can spend the time learning what I want them to take over. But I have to be emotionally checked in. And we checked out emotionally when we don't have enough. That's a fact. Money does that to your mind. It makes you feel like a loser. It makes you feel like crap. It makes you feel like I don't know what I'm doing. It's not true, but that's the emotional place you go to. I want to say that.
I think it's really important to talk about, the emotions of money, because I don't think a lot of times we're even aware that we have emotions attached to our money. And a lot of it, well, all of it is based on our experiences, right? For instance, if you've been homeless, every time the rent is maybe late, it affects you whether you notice it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's going to be some level of anxiety
Yes.
around that thing.
Yes. Yes. It'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. That's why I think one of the things I think I teach people and coach people on is on emotions behind the money. I think that part I really dive into. And that's when I really turn up people's mindset, and I look at their clutter. I look at all the outward things that is begging and crying to them to pay attention to me. When somebody places clutter, and I don't care where you say that this is what happened, or I had death, or I'm feeling sick. It's what's happening inside that you're manifesting in your surroundings and your behavior. If you're in chaos and you can't get things together, that's an emotional stuff that's happening within you. And it could be because of what you have experienced in your childhood. It could be because you were expecting somebody to save you. It could be all these different things that nobody seems to talk about really to the core, because it might offend somebody if you ask them the question, or you might push them backwards. But the truth is, if they don't face it and deal in it, don't matter in how much minor increments, they're going to always live there, and they're going to always blame somebody else. Listen, anything, when you're a baby, when you're a kid, teenager, even you already, just so you hit him by 20 and you, your parents or whatever, and those things are happening to you, you didn't had the resources for it to not happen to you. But the minute you have the resources, you have to start taking that control for yourself. And here's why you have to, is because nobody is coming to do it for you.
Oh.
You have to. You have to pray about it. You have to meditate about it. Yes, but you still have to get up and actually do it. Because unless you combat it by doing, nothing really happens. The action part is what makes it happen. And that dives right back right into business, right? That's how your business moves, is by doing and doing and doing until you get it done, no matter how rough. So today we're going to talk about earning the money through business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the second way we talk about earning money. Running a business by the numbers. It really meaning you're looking at your business through the eyes of profitability. And that's how you have to use business. You have to not almost, you actually need to take yourself out of the business and stop making it so, I know it's personal, but personal to the point where you can breathe. And that's why I tell people, when you start a business, look at yourself as an employee.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to work for the first 3 weeks, you don't get pay. And in business, maybe for the first 3 months, usually 3 years before you get paid. So, but if you see yourself as the employee and you're able to understand you're not going to get paid in 3 weeks, you're going to dig up like crazy for that 3 weeks to get paid. And I say this because you mightn't get your salary, but if you can pay yourself $20, $40, $100, in that 3 weeks, you really signal into your mind that this is a business and I'm going to earn from it. One of the detriments to business is people get it and put everything back in the business, and now the emotion take over and say, hey, you didn't make any money. Why you keep doing this? You might like it, but you have to pay for paint, or you have to pay for fabric, or you have to pay for software. And now you're self-sabotaging you in your head, and then it shows up because you're paralyzed and you can't create content, and you can't be on social media, and you can't do all the things that is necessary for the business. When somebody said to me, Karen, I'm not going to do all those things that people say you got to do in business. I just want to do my product and get it out there. Yeah, you're going to have to do those things, because let's go to the olden time. Before we had social media, before we were online, we did all those things. We just never wrote it down, so you didn't think you did all those things. You had parties, you meet your friends, you talk to them about them, you call them on the phone, you go to work, you tell people about it. If you're in the supermarket and you get into a really good conversation, you find a way to bring it up. If you are doing business and you sell it, you've been doing all the things, but you didn't write down that you were doing all the things. So in your head, it was, I had the product and it sold. No, you did a lot of things to narrow the funnel into creating that sale. All the activity was around this product to create that sale, even if you didn't notice. Now, when you become a serious business owner, you start thinking, you start noting down, you start, we like said journaling, but you really, journaling is you writing the story about what's happening. Sometimes people make journaling so serious that they don't want to do it. You can write about your day in your journal. You can write about what you want to see happen. You can write a list about things in your journal, and then you can expand in that over the whole week. Journaling just brings back all that you've done and put you into this place where you're an expert at what you're doing because you have done it.
You know what? I'm one of those persons. I don't journal.
Yeah.
And so perhaps that's why I'm not in touch with the emotions surrounding my money. I don't know.
We have to dive deeper, a little deeper, Terry. But yes, just different things sparks different things in people's lives. I mean, sometimes you sit and listen to somebody's story. A person might make $1 million, they tell you in a year or two. And if you really get into the nitty gritty of it, you'll see all the things that they did to make that $1 million. Here's the difference between them and you that didn't make it. They were on purpose. They kept some kind of notes so that they're tracking. They're tracking money. They're understanding, hey, I fixed a budget for $2,000, but if I can spend $1,500, that's $500 I could put back towards my business. So because they're tracking, they know this. But if they weren't tracking, they would spend, that $2,000. That brings me back to somebody had a discussion with the other day. They were about to take a job, and I said to them, I said, is this job is going to give you is it going to help you emotionally? I know you say it's going to help you financially, but will it help you emotionally? Will it build you up or will it break you down? Is it carrying you into the direction that you want to get into? And the person said to me, well, why are you asking me all these questions? I don't need to know all of that. I just need to get paid and get this job. And I said, so for 3 weeks, you're not going to be paid. So I just want to make sure you're making the right jump. It's okay to continue interviews because I know the person's situation and they didn't have to worry about rent necessarily at the time because they're younger. And I said, give yourself the time. And rather than get into this place, talk to your parents or somebody and make sure that you're making the right leap. It's not like you mustn't go for the experience, but I want you to really consider these things, in advance. And she got so upset with me and the discussion didn't go well. Versus another young person that I talked to about.
It did not go well.
Did not go well. Not all my discussions go well with people, but I know it's because I was touching on a lot of important things that she didn't want to deal with. Versus another young girl that I spoke to, I don't know, 4 months ago. And then I saw her like a month ago and she goes, Karen, everything you said to me, I kept it, it registered, and I took it. She says, and she's EMT. Look at this girl. She makes good money. She got a full-time position for a year. And she said, Karen, once I was in it, and at 8 months, like I keep hearing you say, I hear you say when we had the discussion, is this where I want to be or is this where I want to be? And, so instead of staying full-time, she went back on a flex shift because she recognized the full-time work and the hours were killing her emotionally and mentally. She wasn't getting this rest period in her brain that she wanted to see, working towards her end goal, towards where she wanted to see herself. No, it's not because she wanted to leave her job, but she wanted to understand what was happening. And she said to me, Karen, I made more money in the year, but I didn't save more money in the year that I made more money.
You see, because we're so busy making the money that we're not paying attention to whether or not we're saving it for what the purpose was or putting it toward the purpose of having that the so-called extra money.
Yes.
Because in between there, we're buying lunch because we don't have time to make it. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yes. And we're doing all sort of unnecessary things because we're hanging out with people who we feel want us to live up to their expectation. The people didn't ask us, but we get drafted into this. I remember the first time I took my lunch, I was in college, and my friend said to me, you're not going to the cafeteria? I said, you know how much money I spent last week? And she said, hold on. So, she asked me like 3-4 times. I said, no, I'm going to the office and ask them to use the microwave because the cafeteria wanted to buy, so there's no microwave. And she says, I don't think they'll let you use the microwave. I said, well, it's only one way to find out. So I went up and I asked, and the lady says, yes, if you made a mess, just clean it, but sure. End of story. Cut that expense.
and that's a couple of $1,000s a year when you're in college. That's a big money.
Thank you. Terry, at the end of the week, I couldn't imagine how much money I spent at the cafeteria. I went and have a coffee. I had some snack. I went in the midst of something that wasn't going great in my class, and I bought I don't know what. I had lunch, and when the woman gave me the sticker price, I was like, "Wait, what did I buy?"
Where's my money? Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I needed something else to go with. I don't know why, but I did.
Now we've got a comment over here from Jill.
Hi, Joe.
Jill and Cecilia are in the house. Hey, ladies.
Hi, Cecilia.
She says, my parents both grew up in poverty. My mom saved out of fear. My dad spent not sure why. My mom told me always have money. Don't be in a position to depend on anyone. I had to learn my own money values personally and in my business. Well stated. Yeah,
Well stated.
because
Well
we
stated.
all have different money stories, do we not?
We all do. We all do. And where that's coming from dictates how you behave. And that's why I
Mhm.
said there's always emotions behind the money. Now we take that and we put that in our businesses. We don't understand we do, but we put that in our businesses. Go back to the girl. People could be making 2 million, 2,000, $200,000 a year in their business and still is only paid to themselves $24,000, 36,000, whatever that tiny number is, because maybe they have expanded the business, but they haven't figured out what else and what's causing this. So this turmoil is happening. That's why we have to look at it early. When you start in a business, you have to know how much money you want to pay yourself, how much you want to earn, and you work towards that. You need to know why you want to earn that money. Yes, it's your business, but you still need to know the why you want to earn that money. And then when you understand that, you need to understand your ladder, how you're going to hire people, when you're going to bring them in, how you're going to train them, the time you have for it. But overall, the people who work and save a year's salary and open a business, they're better off in terms of the part of the emotional tracking. The other part is if you know that if you have money, it will make you not do as much, then you are looking at some underlying things that you also need to look after before you start this business. Because sometimes a year worth of money could make people not do anything until the money run out. There's the
Mm.
people who have to wait to the end where they're sitting at the seat of their pants and they can't do anything else that makes them do. That's the only way they do. That's been the same people who study late for tests. That's the same people who their mother probably get them a whipping before they straighten up. Those are the same people who, the teacher have to say, I'm gonna call your parent or something. They've had this trait in them, and everybody's saying, I don't want to do it because they're gonna get over it, and then it keep happening. And if you got a parent who talked down to you, then you say, okay, that's all they're gonna say, and I don't have to worry anymore. Or if you
Mm.
got a parent who's gonna try to prop you up, well, somebody else is gonna prop me up. It's everything just comes and push itself to the forefront, and then honestly, your business is not going anywhere. You talk to somebody, you say you need to do an audit to your business, and they're like, "There's no way I'm doing that." You need to do that. Matter of fact, you should do it a couple times a year. And if you're not doing that, by the end of the year, you're always going to hold your head in the slump in some area or another because you're not paying attention in your business and how much money you're earning. And then you can't pay the people. Our crisis appearing, you can't pay the people anymore. You can't have employees anymore. And maybe you had really good employees and you lose all those people because you didn't set yourself apart in terms of your business. I was feeling, and this is me proud moment here that, I had an employee that was very sick, was hospitalized. And I'm glad that we're privileged that I could have paid her for 3 months without her working. Like, I know that I didn't have to, but I was glad that I was in this, position that I could, and that she knew that she can come back to her jobs. Even though she's out of the hospital, she needed to recoup and she needed time to build back her strength. And I wanted her to feel that I cherish her because she's a really good employee of mine. I had her for years. And when this happened, I knew she was nervous. I called, I said, listen, do not worry about the money. Just get better. Just get well. And your money is going to be in the bank. And she said to me, Karen, I think that's part of the stress. I'm in here. I know they're treating me, but I was trying to figure out how I'm going to pay for X, Y, and Z. I am not working. How am I going to get this covered? because even if you can get unemployment, it takes a while for it to kick in, and the bills don't stop coming. You still gotta pay them every month.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you want to run your business in this manner so that you can do the things not only for you, but for the people you employ and the people that is generously helping you grow your business, because that's what your employees do. They take that weight off of you and you get to breathe a little and do other areas while they take on the stuff that you employ them to do. All right. Anything you want to add, Terry, before I
No, we're talking about earnings from a business.
That's what we're talking about today. Because last week we talked about the job aspect of it. The important factors is understanding, as I said before, the need so that you can put plans in place for the long haul. Running a business is not short term. It is both short term and long term. You can't get one without the other. If you're only thinking short term, and if at the moment you're giddying up to be in the short term, that's fine. But you have to find time to still keep planning for the long term. If you want to grow a business and you've been having a hard time right now, rather than be in the moment of what's happening, start planning for 2021. Sit down and get the big picture laid out on the table, on the floor. Move everything away and just lay out this 2021 plan. What do you want to see happen? Lay it out, lay all the big plans out. And then once it's out, then I want you to break it down in quarters. And then I want you to go back again and break it down month by month. And then I want you to be as detailed as possible in the monthly scenarios. And I want you to lay it out. Once you get the month laid out, now you'll have your days laid out, because you want to meet, and everything that's laid out, you want to meet a certain thing in 30 days. So you lay it out week by week. And then you put dates next to it. Do not lie to yourself. If you know something's going to take you 3 months, do not try to say, I'm going to finish it this week. No, give yourself the 3 months, but every 30 days, check in to see where you're at so you can keep going, so you can meet your mark. If you had a job and you had a project for 3 months, you need to figure out how to get that project so you could be paid. The same thing goes for your business. You got to do the projects, you got to do the boring, mundane work to be paid in the 90 days, to satisfy a customer, to gain clients, to talk to your bookkeeper or your accountant. If you are a bookkeeper or an accountant, to check in on those things. To speak to a lawyer, whether it's registering your business, whether it's changing your banking situation because maybe you're paying too much fees, or you need to have more money in the account so you don't pay the fees. Whatever it is, like you want to work towards those goals. Maybe I need to learn how to use Canva, or how to use my camera. And I know sometimes people think, well, what would be the big deal? That's not going to make me money. But if that part of it is going to help your bottom line, then you better sit your butt down and learn that. If you need to figure out how to work social media to the best of your ability, you need to sit down, buy a class, go on YouTube. Everything is not going to be free. Let me just be clear about that. YouTube is only going to carry you that far. You've got a lot of missing spots. So go buy something, sit down and learn the darn thing, and put that in your pocket. And it's going to help you when you decide to hire people, because you can talk about it. You could explain to them what you want. You know how hard it is. I used to be a social media manager, and I sit with a client and she doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know what's going to happen. She thinks this miracle thing is going to happen, and it's not going to happen. Like, I can, yes, handle her social media, but what am I doing? What is the goal? Um, what she want to see happen? What is the plans for the business? How is she going to grow it over the year? And she says, well, I throw a lot of money to it. And so if you throw 5,000 a month to advertising, to get you where? To do what? Where are you going with this? And those questions, like, I could, but I wouldn't write content because I was speaking in my own voice and not yours, if I'm trying to get you the people who will listen to what you want to say. And she wasn't ready for business. She needed a job. I said after her, I said, go back to work. Go back to work. I want your money here, but go back to work. Go back to work, change fields, whatever you need to do, but go back to work and really be honest with yourself, because I know other people have taken your money. I'm not going to take any more of your money unless you know what we're going to do. It wasn't worth my time. So those are the things we have to think about. And when we do, though, here's the beauty part. I know I went on my rant and all the things you gotta do, but the beauty part is when you do, you actually will earn money. You can be dividend or you can pay yourself a salary. And when you pay yourself a salary or dividend, however you decide to do it, your stress level will come down. I promise you it will. I can't tell you how many businesses I've done where I go in and audit or I talk to the owner and I say to the lady, I remember this one woman, I said to her, I said, you are making in your company is surpassing anything I've ever seen. I was like, this company was so on fire. And she couldn't see it because she spent money every single day out of the company. It come in, it went out. And I said to her, I set up her books. I got everything in order. And she fought me like crazy because I wanted her to count every little tiny thing. What was important because I wanted to showcase to her, hey, you told me you need $5,000 a month to run your life. Your company's making 10. What are you talking about, Karen? Here's $10,000. I just dragged $10,000 from your company. I paid for material. We've got cash flow, and you can actually pay yourself $5,000 a month. You're going to pay your employees. You're going to do everything, and you could still pay yourself $5,000. And she argued to not get 5,000 from me. I mean, literally, there's not a way to put it. She's busy arguing with me why it wasn't possible. I wrote it in black and white. This is the self-sabotaging part. When you're so used to not making money, not understanding you could make money, you will fight to stay not making money. But
Yes.
you know that you're fighting to not make money.
And one of the ways you do that is you don't want to look at the books.
Uh-huh.
Seriously, Coach, it's like you're so used to nothing being over there that you don't want to look at the books.
Yes.
And if you've been in debt, you don't want to answer the phone because you think it's a bill collector.
Yes. And it could be something very importantly coming down the pipe. I had a friend, I remember she wouldn't open her bills. When I met her, she hadn't opened her bills for close to 2 years. I met her through another friend. And when we become close pretty quickly, we just was in, some people you just meet and you click right away. And we're talking from one thing to the other. And she says, I got a secret. And I was like, why are you telling me? Because I know you through this friend. So I was feeling uncomfortable. She's like, no, my friend told me that you talk a lot about money. I wasn't doing it for business yet. So she said, I want to tell you something. Like what? She goes, I want to show you something. So she took me home and she hadn't opened her bills for close to a year. And all the things that she was afraid of in this scenario, okay? The back bills, the student loan from university that she did, all the things that she was afraid of, in the pile of those things was some good stuff. She didn't, over here we have your health card. So she didn't get her kids' health card renewed. So she kept paying money to the doctor that she didn't need to pay because she just needed to renew the health card. It was the craziest scenario.
It's just amazing. And in some of those envelopes were probably checks.
Yes, get into that.
Unexpected money.
It was crazy. And I promised her, I said, I'm going to come and we're going to open it together. She said, you would? I said, yes. Every bill that you're afraid of, put it aside. Every bill that looks okay, you over here. And I'm going to open the one that scares you to death, and you open the one that looks like it's okay. And so it was a couple of days journey.
I would imagine with 2 years worth of mail.
We went through that part. She had to take several breaks, come back, and then we organized it. We went to the dollar store. We got binders. I helped her file them away and promised that she wouldn't get that. Anytime she felt that way, she can call me. And also call the student loan and bank that she had the student loan with, and ask them if they can work out payment. They were so cooperative. Actually, the lady said to her, are you going to finish? Because she didn't finish her degree, by the way. She's studying child psychology, and she'd taken a break and she didn't finish because she keeps saying, I don't have money. And I keep saying, By the time we go through the whole thing, she could have paid for the rest of the. So it was the crazy zone.
Because we're so convinced by our history also
That's what it
that
was.
it's not going to work out.
That's what it was. That's what she had trauma in her childhood. And I keep saying to her, it stayed with you. You studying this. The reason you're studying child psychology is because of what you've been through. You yourself need to go therapy because that I can't help you with. But I said you need to for your kids' sake. I said because you're reliving some traumas regularly, and every time it's really bad, you're going into this place, and it's been happening for a long time. And you need to go look after yourself. You need to finish your degree. You really need to get on board on the things you need to do because there's no reason you shouldn't. She was working a good job. I'm telling you, there's somebody who made a lot of money. But it's because emotionally what was happening with her. So it's not like she couldn't pay a bill. It's just the anxiety that would happen when she think something's not happening. And we're talking about business, and we do this in our businesses. You know how many people don't know how much it costs them per month to run their company? There's people who have businesses, and we ask them, how much does it cost to run your business per month? They're like, I don't know. Oh, I think I spend less than $100 a month. I don't think it's that expensive. I said, put it down, get back to me. They're like, uh-huh. So just multiply it by 12, and you know that that's what you pay a year. But here's the kicker. If you were to pay annually, most time you get some kind of a discount. So now this is how you get your first cash flow if you don't have it. You pay it annually, if you could, and the extra that you would have paid, put it in your cash flow column. And all of a sudden, your mind is seeing that you have cash flow. And your job is to work and build up your cash flow. Just like how for personally, we need to have our savings for whatever, we need to have cash flow in our business. We need to have money for the unexpected things that what will, not might, will happen.
Sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like a plan to me. So let's recap. These earnings from our businesses.
Earnings from your business. When you have a business, you either get paid dividend, depending on how you set up your business, or you can pay yourself a salary. You wanted the working girls or guys, you pay yourself a salary. The rest of your money goes back into whatever the business need. The business should have a savings account. The business should have cash flow happening. It's two separate things, people. If you look at the, the accounting part of things, it's two separate things, okay? So you need to have cash flow. You need to have savings in your business because we need to have it just like for your personal. And you need to decide how you're going to be paid. This is not a joke. It's not a hobby. Okay. So you need to know how you're going to be paid. Because when you're paid, it's taking care now of your living expenses. And whether you want to travel, you set aside travel money, vacation money, you get to pay your rent or your mortgage, you pay overhead, you eat, you have a good time. Life is about enjoying yourself, okay? And if you want to do those things, your business needs to pay you to do that. If you're spending 8 hours a day working, you need to be paid. And you want your business to pay you, so you need to get those things under control. Last week we speak about working earning. This week we talk about business earning. And next week we're going to be talking about semi-passive earnings. Just where we're going to look at all the areas this month of how we earn money, especially if you want to be a person who gets money from different places. You truly want to understand each step of the way, why they're important, and how you're going to make this happen.
Wow. Okay, guys, you heard that. Look at the books, figure out what your earnings are going to be.
Yes.
And where is everything going? You need to have a savings account for unexpected incidents like what's going on right now. You wouldn't be caught off guard because you had a savings from the business, if that was your only source of income, or if it was supplemental income even. It could be very beneficial right now.
Yes. Because we look at a lot of people who is suffering because of the pandemic. There's a lot of people who are thriving through the pandemic.
Exactly.
A lot of people who pick up their heels and started to thrive through the pandemic. You know, so just decide who you want to be and really face all the different fears,
Uh,
all the different things that you need
well,
to do.
Cecilia says, she says, I need to listen to her all day long and put it into work. So that brings me to this, Coach. How can people connect with you? I know you've got some coaching things going on right now. Tell us about that and how to get to that.
Okay. So my free membership and my free Facebook group is called Profits and Dailies for Entrepreneur. And right now, I have a free membership section that's just for you discovering yourself. It's
Mhm.
really helping you look after all these emotional parts of you to push you into growing your business if that's what you desire, or to help you understand you, to know where you need to be and be honest with yourself. Because when you find out who you are, you will be on top of the world. You hit all those roadblocks down. I know life isn't easy, and I know there's going to be a time where you want to sit at the side and cry. There's a time when you feel like everything is crashing in on you. This doesn't escape the people who are making money. Let me just be honest with you. But at least this section of your life would not be in the pile of the crumble. So this is what the free membership is about. I have 4 slots, and each membership slot is identifying and helping the Pacific entrepreneur, the beginners, the intermediate, and the one who is making money but don't even know she's making money. So I have all those different slots. But I really love and encouraging people to join the free one, not because only it's free, but because it really is going to spend the time helping you find out who you are. And on this round, we're doing it for 90 days. Next time around, it's just going to be packaged up and and we get to use it. But it's really, I saw the need. I see how people stumbling, and I realize the main thing that's holding them back, it's because they have not taken a snapshot of themselves and really be truthful, not for me, Terry, or anybody else. Be truthful within themselves, and they say, hey, here is where I'm stumbling. Here's what's
Mhm.
happening to me. Let me really find out who this girl is or who she's grown to be, and what I like and don't like about her, because it's okay. And then fix those things to the best of your ability. Nobody's perfect, but fix those things.
Work on those things.
And
So,
we all working on stuff, okay?
so
We're
Coach,
all
we can find you on Facebook at Profits in Daily.
yeah.
Okay, so you see it up there on the banner, guys. Profits in Daily. I'm gonna put it this way. That's Coach Karen with a C. So if you're looking for Coach Karen Fern, it's
It's with a C.
Karen with a C. Okay.
All right.
Used to that in California. How do you spell that? Because people spell things differently.
Definitely, yeah.
hmm And if you're looking to join Biz Chicks, you can text Biz to 33777. Come on, guys, get your friends to join the community. We'd love to have you come on in and join the conversation. We got a comment over here. Let's see here. Cecilia says, I'm 60 years old and still don't know who I am. Yeah, hey, that's because we're always evolving. BizChicks has a discovery workshop every quarter. So you might want to sign up for that when we offer it again, Cecilia, to help you work through those things in a comfortable environment. Yeah. Meanwhile, you want to sign up for Coach Karen's course because she's also going to walk you through those things on the money side. So you might want to look into that. Okay, guys. With that, we just want to thank Coach. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Revelation to have a conversation with you. And sometimes it's just a reminder. Hey, did you? No, I haven't been doing that lately. Okay. Okay, and we want to remind all of you to remember to go to the front of your own line, and we will see you tomorrow for healthy,
Happy, healthy habits.
Thank you. Happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And Friday we'll be talking tech and English. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.